Hello everybody, welcome to Zelda Speedruns, broadcasting the Zelda 2 Randomizer Standard Tournament 2022. We're at the Swiss round 5 here today. It's traiLZ versus Big Slamoo. Commentating for us are Mirai and Elendar. Say hello everybody.
Hello everybody. Oh man, this is 4-0 match for our Swiss rounds here.
Yeah, one of these players is going to be undefeated coming into the brackets. The other, 4-1 with probably top tiebreakers. Not a terrible place to be, but still there's some amount of pride in being the one undefeated to come out of the Swiss rounds.
Yeah, I think if Slamoo wins this one, we're never going to hear the end of it.
Somebody's got to beat Slamoo.
Yeah, he's, for those watching, this is his first race on console tonight, so we're being graced with that.
Yep, we're going to have to forgive the slightly suboptimal capture, but it should play just fine.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be no issues further in the race here. And we'll be off shortly here.
traiLZ immediately finding Heart Container Cave. Ooh.
Oh, I must be way behind.
It's just synchronized. So, slight spoiler for everybody. traiLZ is going to find Heart Container Cave.
Wow,
and,
I was way behind. We were saying Heart Container Cave. They hadn't even started on my end.
It hadn't synchronized on my end, and once it synchronized, it set me back in time with everybody else. But Slamoo checking those forests right away did find Bagu basically right away.
Well, that could be interesting. I didn't see the map, so I don't. Does it look like Saria's?
It is mountainous, so we could have a Saria pass through. But
yeah, this is
impossible to say.
Yeah, could be a cave that just bypasses that. Could be simply that we can just wrap around. Might be convenient. Might be necessary. It's Saria plays kind of a troll role in certain biomes at times.
Oh, and traiLZ checking the other forest tile. Is he gonna? Yeah, okay, he's gonna go get Bagu here, so they'll be all tied up.
All right, so we had a Heart and Heart Container Cave. I think you just said that. Yes, I'm catching up. I'm synchronizing as well.
Yeah. We just got a vanilla Heart Container Cave and a Bagu sighting, and nothing up to the northwest. So both our runners gonna head east here, find a palace and a P-Bag Cave.
Yeah, absolutely linear forced start here on directions. Well, I guess there's a branch here now at this point, but it looked like there. I don't know if that water extended up there. It looked like it might have been boots were kind of a shortcut to get up somewhere at the north there.
Yeah, we didn't get a great view of it.
Yeah, no.
Slamoo didn't go there at all, and traiLZ sort of stuck his head up and immediately turned around. So,
well, another heart.
The seed has decided 4-0 race now. We need all the safeties.
Yeah, I just, you have to wonder that traiLZ probably the more rugged, tough racer, able to do things on lower resources better than Slamoo can. But with these additional hearts, Slamoo, probably evens it up a little bit here, allowing if Slamoo gets a little sloppy early game, he can take a few more hits. So.
Okay, well, our first spell, and it's going to be Reflect, so traiLZ is going to go head on in and pick up his trophy hint.
We'll see if we have any of these other hints here. Sometimes the citizens of Rudo just don't want to cooperate and give you any information.
Yeah, so far not great, but there are 3 total hints in the maze lies the trophy. Okay. Yeah, 3 total hints here, or 3 total potential hints. And are we 0 for 3? 0 for 3.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I would want for hints and where they should be and things. Like, as a runner, it's like I would want a good hint. But then again, everyone's coming into the town. It's like everyone's going to have the same hint. Do you want hints at that point? It's like, yes, but no.
What you want to see is in the west lies a heart container?
Yeah.
You're like, yes, game. Thank you.
So is that a red Daira on traiLZ's side here in Magic Container Cave?
Might only be an orange one. No, it's red. Yep, and traiLZ well practiced at taking it out, but he does get that Moblin, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Extra hard. and does successfully take it down, though. Slamu doing a little bit of farming here in this 3 or 6. 150 points, a good rate of return.
Yeah, we'll see if he keeps that up. Yeah, he's going to keep that up a hot minute here, whereas traiLZ just found the flute in Magic Container Cave.
Yeah, could be useful. Still no sign yet of what our eastern biome is going to look like.
Keys in the drop pool there. Wanted the 150 experience, but got a key instead. Level Engine in chat asking what he missed. You missed 4 minutes of mountainous exploration, which is really not much at all. Bunch of heart containers and 2 palace locations.
Yeah, we've got a trophy hint in Maze Island.
Oh yeah, that's right. And trophy is Reflect.
traiLZ finding 2, just moving on.
So still, it does look like we're somewhat still kind of linear here. Unlike there's a pocket of stuff up here, and then you're forced to go south. But both of our runners are doing the exact same thing here. So no one's going to have the true advantage versus the other, at least not yet. Obviously, traiLZ out in the lead here, but it is just, I mean, we're 5 minutes in, so I don't know exactly if that means anything right now.
Yeah, big difference, mainly just that Slamu decided to farm out that extra level. He's got attack 3, doing him decently in the dark.
Yeah, that helped him there with that red Dyra for sure, whereas the traiLZ had to keep bringing him back a little bit and then pushing him forward, bringing him back, pushing him forward, etc.
Slamu picked up a second key here. I'm curious if that's going to be enough to trigger him to go into Palace 2 when he finds that in a couple minutes here.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he he knows who he's up against. That you might need to play a little aggressive here, so it's possible.
traiLZ, I think 87 was the cost on fire. He hasn't cast it yet, so that's a pretty good sign that it's not castable.
Oh, where are we going here? Are we? Is it? I wonder if fire is fairy. Unless we can go south here, or east. Okay, good.
Slamu I think he's just, I think he was just trying to pick up this level so he could up A here and refill his lives, and extremely rudely being given another red jar. All right, traiLZ finds the last palace. It's another 3 or 6. So both 3, 6, and 2 on the west.
Yeah, so I think traiLZ got his second key there off of the red Dyra in the encounter, and he didn't want to go into that 1, 3, or 6 palace. He didn't want to go into the 3 or 6 palace that he walked into there. So he probably just going to be doing a little exploration here. Slamu seemingly en route to 888 off of this statue. All right, he's out of there.
traiLZ, meanwhile, finds his way to Trophy Cave. We know it's not going to contain the trophy, but will it be another hard container? No, the boots.
Could be a thing. I wonder if we go back to the starting palace at some point soonish and we check up there. Again, I'm kind of interested to see if that goes somewhere.
We still haven't found a way off this continent, so
yeah,
wouldn't surprise me if we find a raft tile or something up there.
So there's your Saria. Did you see that? Oh, okay. A lot of stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Saria looks like it's blocking. So or Jump Cave or Saria. Take your pick.
Yeah. traiLZ did find a connection to what I think was the east and also a raft tile sighting on it. Not entirely sure. So.
Look kind of like a River Canyon-ish.
Yeah, but he's just going to go through and clear out the remainder of this west prior to checking out the east. I don't blame him. This is almost certainly going to be an item. No, wow, Parappa Cave there, I think. And
interesting.
That's a. There must be quite a bit. I didn't think there would be that much further south, just with how this has been laid out, but it looks like there really is.
Okay, so while fire may be fairy, fairy is also right here.
Man, that could have been extremely rude if our runners didn't find Bagu. If it was the other way around. Basically forced to take it up A and go through it all again just to just to find him.
Also, something that we didn't note, Medicine was on Grass Tile, Mito is Spell. We saw Slamu give us that check, but without any way to get down stab or anything. Slamu didn't have the Medicine right at that point in time, I don't think. Or maybe he did. Regardless, going in for just Spell is probably not the most exciting thing to do, so he's probably waiting to get some way to get a down stab technique.
Yeah, and he'll have his fairy in just a bit here. Assuming that he goes through Saria before that Parappa Cave, which he will.
Well, it is castable at Magic 3, as Trail's just shown. It looks like it's exactly like just about 64 Magic.
Was that a fire check I missed?
Or it could have been, maybe.
I don't actually know. But he's gonna talk to the Riverman, and we're gonna see this sort of segmented southern bit. What's down here? One cave.
We have some... Backwards Fairy.
Okay. It's going to be a little spicy. Red Dyra... just as an orange dye and a Moblin, I think. But okay.
Yeah. So what? Parappa and Jump leads to another little pocket down there. There might be absolutely nothing down there, but there also might be something down there, so...
Yeah, I'm sure traiLZ is pretty happy that he has Fairy now, because there's a pretty strong chance he's going to want to backtrack through this Fairy Cave.
Yeah, that's possible. All of the palaces, they're not hidden or anything. They're not too far from start, so we might see some palace dives here real soon from traiLZ, just simply 10.5 minutes in. And Slamu as well, knowing, again, who he's up against. 4-0 race, kind of big deal here, so... Maybe this is Slamu's entry into palaces right this moment.
Slamu found King's Tomb, which I don't think traiLZ did, but did not get anything from it. And traiLZ finally reaches the end of this sort of big linear section, is rewarded with Medicine Cave.
I think this is it for Western overworld locations. Is right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we've seen. Did we see Medicine Cave? So this is Medicine Cave. Yes. Yeah. yes, this will be it. Oh, and traiLZ did do a fire check. Was that life?
I got nothing.
Okay, chat confirming that it is life. traiLZ getting a candle, and he's up in.
Yeah, so this is another thing could really benefit traiLZ. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of fire life casts, but at the same time, what I was talking about earlier, keeping Slamu in this, like cheap fire life could be the thing that, if Slamu is able to route things a little bit more efficiently, if he's able to jump into palaces and be a little bit more aggressive with that fire life spell once he figures that out. Not sure, right? Not sure. We all know that traiLZ is an amazing player, but we're looking for ways to level that playing ground, and of course, a bunch of hearts early on and a cheap fire life for Slamu. That's going to be more in his favor than it really is in traiLZ's favor, I think.
Okay, Slamu's going to revisit, pick up his down stab, and I believe you said this was this a spell?
Yes.
Okay, worth picking up while he's here, but I'm sure the main value of this check is that hint that Rebonak is riding with the hammer.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we have any. Well, we got nothing important on the west, at least. That's boulder blocked, at least as far as we know. Otherwise, it's just going to be a spec rock check from there. Oh,
that's a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, both Parappa and Jump, both in their separate little pockets down there, with no real progress down there.
All right, so now traiLZ is fully. I guess he could also go pick up his down step if he wanted. But is he going to do that? Is he going to do some palaces, or are we going to the east? It looks like the east. Or not.
Okay, well, from our perspective, at least, I think from my perspective, I felt that this kind of went nowhere. But then again, we didn't get the full picture. There might be some potential that it touches water down there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I trust traiLZ's recollection of the scene more than my own at this point, but... might be one of those, make sure that you catch everything, because if you miss, one little tiny cave, that goes into a connector, and that ends up being important. Like that can be your whole scene.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
So Slamu taking it up in A. He still has not been down. I don't think he had been down to where the candle is, but I don't think he needs it. I mean, obviously he doesn't know that it's the candle, but from his perspective, he's got Fairy, he's got a couple keys. It's Palace time.
Yeah, he's jumping in 2 here. Trail's confirming that Jump Cave, both Jump and Prep, are a whole lot of nothing down in the south, and Trail's going to be joining Slamu here in P2.
Night Shifter with a quick spot from that small check we had that is in fact Death Mountain and not the east.
Oh, well, the boots help even more there then if we want to just check caves all day long, see where we're going. But we did see the Maze Island Bridge, so that could just simply be where we need to go, wasn't it? Yeah. Like 10 tiles from where we entered.
Yeah, also with the Spec Rock sighting, heading into 3 to pick up that hammer might be
that's true.
Helpful. I'm sure our runners are going to, at this point, given that they've both decided to dip into this palace, they're probably going to clear all the palaces here on the west before moving on, barring any sort of glove block or anything.
So I think we saw Trails go down and find the dead end, down and right, find the dead end, and then this is going to be up and right. Yeah, because we just saw Slamu come through this room, and Slamu's in a dead end now. So 2 dead ends to the right. We're going to want to be going left here in P2, it seems.
Yep, Slamu just checking this dead end, seeing if he can get some more experience. Something he did get a 200-point bag from the enemies here, but Trail's going to immediately turn around and nope his way right out of that.
Yeah, levels-wise here with that little early grinding session from Slamu, who's got him at 335, and Trail's going to be checking. Oh, we got Mago Drippers. Talk about the place to grind. This might be it, but if Trails can't get any, he's not going to know that this is them, whereas Slamu just saw him, and we'll see if he kills it and sticks around.
It's just the worst luck in the world from Trails here, and he's not going to see it.
So this knowledge, though, like, again, Slamu has it. I don't think Trails saw it, unless he saw it from left to right and then ignored it. This is going to be the same, though, in Palaces 1, 2, and 5. They're all going to be Mago Drippers. So if we can find Drippers somewhere else, it's going to be where we may want to hang out for a hot minute and do a little bit of grinding early on.
Yep. Trails finding another dead end and realizes that he's got to take this first left. And Slamu also up-Aing, coming to the same conclusion.
Yeah, Trails skipping that downstab technique. I don't remember exactly where Mito was. It must have been.
Yeah, I don't know if Trails saw it.
You might be right on that. I think I only saw it on Slamu's side.
Yeah, I know Slamu saw it and then came back with his fairy. I'm not sure Trails found it. That may have been what he was looking for heading into those caves, but it's certainly going to cost him at least a little bit of time. Depends on how mean some of these enemy sets end up being. Ooh.
Yeah, Slamu might be able to spell this guy and get through here if he can cast spell at Magic 3 with only 64 magic. I don't know. I guess you could just fairy through. It costs a fairy, and unfortunately, as you're seeing on Trails' side, dying with that fairy cost, although he might have been low on health.
Yeah, he was pretty low on health. It was just 2 hammers took him down, so it might have been difficult for him to get across regardless. He's going to give it another shot and makes it through, doesn't have to cast fairy.
Yeah, you have to... Oh, go ahead.
And Magic 3 fairy is all of Slamu's magic. I don't know if we've seen a cost... I mean, I probably have, but it's just very quick on Trails' side, whether it's substantially cheaper at 4.
We might see it here, though. If Trails knows that this room has a jar in the statue, he might ferry over this to save a key or not. Okay. Because then you can just get a jar out of the statue at the base of the elevator.
Yeah, this being Palace 2, it's guaranteed.
Oh, yeah, the room above it is... Oh, another one of these rooms.
Yeah. Slamu, out of magic, though, he's going to have to use the key. Okay. Your Trails out of keys. Going to have to use his fairy spell, but again, he'll be able to refill off the statue if he wants.
I'm sorry, not he. We do see a glove lock here to the left where Trails is at there. So that could be our route to something. Oh, Trails got juked by the juggler guy. Oh, we do have a glove block. Okay.
Okay. So, not what our runners want to see, but it's going to put them on pretty even footing.
Yeah, and in a race like this, what do you do? Slamu's got the hint that Rebanek has the hammer. So if that's useful, it's, Trails not having that information right now, might try 3 or 6 after this one. And as a result, just dig the item out. Again, it's the hammer. You probably might try to dig it out early on like this. I don't know. It is just P3 after all. But do you think about this in a race when you see that early glove block in 2? Are you now thinking, should I do more overworld exploration, or should I keep digging into these palaces in an attempt to do them, finish them, and maybe find the glove that's inside of them?
Yeah, I think knowing Trails, he's just gonna he sees a palace, he's gonna complete it. That's sort of just his style.
I would probably do the same thing as well, to be honest.
Yeah, sometimes it can bite you if, there's a whole bunch of glove block palaces and if the glove block is, the glove is real easy to find, you just take Death Mountain into Maze Island and it's, 2 steps in or something, but there's definitely, I guess there's a bit of diminished value. Ordinarily, I would say, when you have 3 palaces in the West and none of them are GP, you really want to be able to clear all 3 of them so that you don't have to double dip, right?
Yeah.
You just, all right, it's done. West is done. Let's go. I'm never coming back. But unfortunately, with one of them glove blocked, they're sort of being forced to double dip the West anyway. So the incremental value of clearing out all the palaces on the West is gone.
Yeah, the only way that wouldn't be true is if 6 had the glove, but man, talk about a dig.
All right, we get an item sighting here. Oh, it's never mind. This is Palace 3. I'm not sure we had seen a window check, but this confirms that we are in Palace 3.
And so Slamu's jumping in 6 here. He doesn't know that, but we do.
Patrick confirming spell is not castable at Magic 3 for Slamu.
Okay. Yeah, when you're digging early and fast and things like this, sometimes you want to break. Well, I don't know if you want to be burning through your fairy casting magic with spell, but if you run into something tough like a series of Doom Knockers, sometimes getting them out of the way with a spell is the way to go. Oof.
And Trails discovering that this is not the variation that you can get a jar from, and he's gonna. I was gonna say he's gonna have to take a death. Slamu finds the item very quickly here in 6, but it is just a magic container.
Yeah, so looks like no glove on the West, and we'll be looking elsewhere for that.
Okay, Trails, rather than taking a death, going to try and grind these small enemies looking for a jar. It looks like Fairy is cheap enough at Magic 4 that even a blue jar would be enough for him. But a red jar, obviously plenty.
Yeah, 41, just outside of the realm of being able to cast it twice, but because he was able to grab the jar and then cast Fairy, get more of a refill at the end of it all, that allowed him to get through both of these doors here with just 1 life.
Yeah, but we gotta, for certainly Trails has to hope that, ooh, double Doom Knocker.
Yeah, that's the spell situation, right? That you want to maybe worry about.
Yeah. Oh, Trails is making his way, but he is 1 hit away from death.
Yeah, this is where Slamu having downstab is huge, because normally you just kind of be cruising through these guys. You might take a mace to the face here and there, but you can just downstab through their hitbox and just keep cruising.
Trails briefly, it looked like he hesitated just a bit. He was thinking about farming that block for a red jar, but oof.
Yeah, and again, we see the same room that we saw in 2, just to the left there is a glove block. So I wonder if Rebo is going to be down in that direction.
Man, if we get our first 2 palaces both glove blocked with the same room, that'd be certainly something.
Yeah, this might be a loop right here to the same door that he just ferried through a moment ago.
Yeah, okay. Trails gets a 1-up, though, in case he needs to take a death. He's going to check this elevator.
No.
Yep, and that's a loop. We're glove blocked.
Wow. Yeah.
So far, 0 for 2 on Western Palaces, and he's probably going to end up in 6 pretty shortly here.
Okay, I was going to say, I figure we're on a hunt for Mito, because he knows it's not down through those pass-throughs, so he's like, it has to be accessible somewhere.
Yep, and traiLZ, of course, finds it. Again, I'm not sure if he knew where it was before. Yeah, no, he definitely hadn't gone into it, because he's checking hints. Getting the hint that the hammer is in 3. Thanks.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to get that check into 6. If we do, he will get the extra magic container. It didn't seem like it was too deep into the palace, and that'll allow him to cast Fairy twice at that point. So that'll be nice, but I don't remember where the Death Mountain connection was. Hopefully they do, and with traiLZ's hammer, he might be back in there real fast to check Spec Rock.
Fairy is 41. I would not be able to cast it twice in an extra container,
Oh, that's right.
Just barely too much.
I don't know why I thought they already had. I was thinking Slamu had one, and so traiLZ also had one, and there's another one in 6 then. No.
So we'll see. traiLZ could easily head in either direction here through to Death Mountain, or just take the hop on over to 6.
I might make the hop to 6 myself. It really sucks to leave a palace behind, because you the game can do that. I mean, it doesn't do that, like, it's not sentient. It doesn't do that in that way. But us in our human brains, we try to, you got to look past that weird bias. You're like, all right, is the game telling me to get the glove? But the glove might just be in 6, right? So it's hard to say, well, I'm going to go find everything else first, because you might just leave the glove behind in 6. And it's something that you constantly keep in the back of your mind. But then again, here's traiLZ in Death Mountain. So
traiLZ doing this. I didn't even think of this. traiLZ had seen that Spec Rock when he came here the first time. And so when he has the hammer, he's like, well, I'm definitely going to check that.
Yeah, maybe a dip in the hammer cave is the play. I'm not sure.
Okay, we've got a bridge sighting, but it looks like it's just a regular bridge across the canyon. Okay, this cave just up and right is going to be something for traiLZ. Or apparently this is also going to be something. That isn't. Usually when you see a cave going across the river for a canyon biome, Death Mountain, you're like, oh, it's just going to cross over, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure a welcome sight for traiLZ's end, but not what he was expecting. But yeah, there's a cave just up and right of where he is that is pointing sort of off the edge of the map, and that's also going to be something. And if this is our hammer cave, that's going to be our connection out.
Yeah, that's interesting. He also has the boots, though, so he could just quickly jump on that water, check that bridge. Unless I'm mistaken, that was the Maze Island Bridge, or was that fake out?
I don't think it was. I think it was just going across the river. It might be. It's kind of hard to tell. You know, when you see a bridge going across the river in a canyon, again, you think it's just going to cross the river, but you never know when it's going to go 20 more tiles over to the side, and it's really the Maze Island Bridge. But traiLZ finding the any key in here in Hammer Cave, so not required, but a nice pickup when he's only got one cast of Fairy.
Yeah, especially if Fairy stays expensive for another level or 2 and no other magic containers are found, then, that's going to be really nice to not have to worry about Fairy. And again, coming back to what I was talking about with using Spell to get through some tougher enemies quicker, now you're not going to be burning through your Fairy casts. You're going to be, oh no. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
3 for 3.
That's amazing.
Yep, it is what it is. The random gods have decided that we're getting a glove this scene. And either runner, I mean, especially if you're Slamu, but okay, yeah, as expected, this cave that had to be a connector is the connector to the east.
Yeah, so traiLZ, of course, quicker to figure out the glove block in 2, jumps into 3 would have been the smaller palace. Glove block in there. Not going into 6, though. Again, I probably would have jumped into 6 and found the same dead end that Slamu did. So now traiLZ is off to the east. He's got 2 other locations uncovered, Spec Rock, Hammer Cave. One of those was potentially really good for him, that any key in Hammer Cave. And Yeah, now he's off to the east, and this is big because the east looks like it's pretty open here.
Yeah, I like what traiLZ did, sort of in retrospect, in the sense that he may have been thinking when he went to the Death Mountain initially, okay, I'm gonna check Spec Rock because I know it's right here and I've got the hammer, and this is just natural progression. And then once you go there, by the time he got to Spec Rock, well, here's our glove.
Wow.
It's huge for traiLZ because Slamu is gonna check 3.
So we're looking for, he might just want to hit up the maze if he can find it real fast, get the trophy, get through there, and then head back to the west, grab the Reflect spell, finish off all the palaces, and be back to the east.
Yeah, I mean, that glove really just cracking everything open, really finding Maze Island is probably the only thing we need to do left in the seed for go mode. And we've already seen both our pass-through caves, so it's going to be...
I think we're volcanic here.
Yeah, okay, there's a pretty quick GP.
Looks like a boots-locked volcano entrance. Still not enough to see there.
All right, Slamu picked up his hammer. Is he going to continue on in this 3? Probably. But okay, we've got a raft tile sighting, but no raft yet.
Yeah, even that cross pickup was beneficial at this point, being able to see the MOAs here in the east.
Yeah, for sure. As it once again becomes useful as we get an old Kasuto sighting. Just shield. Chill's shaking his head a bit. He did not check the sign, and I'm sure he was hoping for something required, but I mean, Vanilla Thunder would have been pretty nice for him.
Yeah. Oh.
Is this segmented?
Oh.
I don't think we've seen a way across this volcano in this end.
There's a pasture up here just to the left of Great Palace.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost extra spicy for a moment there.
Yeah, I mean, there was we could absolutely see, a raft required into, Maze Island, which loops around to the other side of this east. But no, we do have some pass-throughs here. Charles going to check this top one.
Yeah, that middle one might spit him out into Death Valley. I've seen some weird volcanic Death Valleys before, some really interesting things that the randomizer puts together. But I don't know. This one looked like a safer bet anyway because it was a little closer to the top, and you kind of expect that it'll shoot you through to the other side. But then again, we might just see he gets spit out into one of those little pockets of land, and then he's got to go back through here and check the other one.
Yeah, as soon as you've got mountains, you can really get kicked anywhere. But nope, this does lead. It looks like probably that cave just south of traiLZ is the other pass-through. So
yeah,
looks like it doesn't really matter. traiLZ seeing life spell in Darunia and not going to be interested in picking that up. But that does mean that okay, so our last spell is going to be Thunder Spell in town whose name I can't remember. Firetown.
Nibiru.
Thank you.
Yeah, can we even cast spell still? I guess maybe at Magic 5 it was expensive.
Yeah,
I didn't earlier.
I did not get a sighting at Magic 5. traiLZ is going in here, so presumably he's able to cast it. Yeah. Okay. Would have been a little bit sad walking all the way to the end of town without being able to cast it, but
all right, Slamu to Death Mountain here.
Well, traiLZ getting a very disappointing child. Kind of surprised he didn't just leave him there.
Maybe he wants to go back in for the life spell, even though he's got Fire Life.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like something traiLZ would do.
Oh, Slamu down the river here. We'll see. Actually, maybe there will be a Maze Island bridge down here. Oh, there is. Wow.
Yeah, and here's our maze. We do know that the trophy is going to be here, so this is extremely required.
Yeah.
Although at this point, isn't this? No, we haven't seen. There's still one palace outstanding on the east, I think. So this is a 50-50 shot of being Palace 4, and boy, would that be a troll.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like this. Sorry, this might be like, I don't know. traiLZ has got the glove, and that's obviously the huge block at this point. So the glove is going to allow him to just do whatever he wants now with palaces, other than missing that reflect spell. But
I think we did see Slamu check Spec Rock. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I have not marked it on the tracker because I'm not like 100% sure. But I'm sure we'll get a pause check eventually from Slamu.
So my bad. Were we supposed to both be tracking?
I've just been clicking on. I think between the two of us, we're like at least somewhat likely to successfully track something.
I'm on the tracking page, so
yeah,
I can't click.
Oh, you're not on the tracking page?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Oh man,
I can fix that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna mark Slamu here with the glove.
Wait, did Slamu get the glove? No, glove was in...
Glove was in Spec Rock, wasn't it?
No, glove was in the east. Glove was in Risen Peabag Cave or something.
Oh, it was across. Okay. Yeah, man. My memory of the scene is already bad. Welcome to Zelda 2 After Dark.
Yeah, After Dark indeed.
Yeah, that's right. So Slamu... man, once again, Slamu making... I think these are good plays for him, but just getting really unfortunate luck because this is another glove block.
This is absolutely insane. I've seen things like this before, but this is so incredibly rare that you have so many glove blocks in every palace.
Yeah. Slamu finding his first item in Maze Island, just another magic container, but he's going to keep looking because he knows he needs the trophy here.
Yeah, I mean, you're usually allowed to do a palace or two along the way if there's like a bunch of glove blocks, but so far, it's 4 for 4 on glove blocked palaces.
Yeah, and again, I don't think, like, again, if I were Slamu and I was here, I would check it.
Absolutely.
But, it turns out not to be the favorable outcome, but Slamu is going to pick up his trophy here.
Water tile check from traiLZ, another magic container.
That's actually going to be his first, so a lot more value there than.
Oh, that's very true.
For
yeah,
Slamu.
It's our 7th overall, though. So we got the 1 in 6, and then the 1 on Maze Island as well.
Yeah. Charles finding his sunken Peabag Cave.
Did we talk to the woman in New Kasuto to see how many containers it was to get in there into the basement?
Yeah, probably, but I don't remember.
This is where we rely on chat. Okay.
Little sad. It was possible for Slamu to see, not necessarily that what ended up being Hammer Cave, but you could tell just from where Spec Rock is that this is going to be a pass through. Okay, Slamu does go back and check it, but hasn't found it. Man, didn't find the Hammer Cave when he was there, and he's just moving on because he thinks, the East is going to have a lot more caves and stuff for me to check, and man, this is just...
Yeah, it's hard to gauge how you would feel in a situation like this if you've gone into a bunch of palaces. He's been in all 4 of them at this point, and they've all been glove blocked, and traiLZ has not been in 6, so he doesn't know that. So he's up 1 palace, or he's down 1 palace check, but up because of that, not having wasted time in 6. And so, how do you feel at that point? Are you really looking for Hammer Cave? I might just look for it to see if I could find it, but if I could see this connector as well, I might just push forward.
I mean, he's gonna get his glove, but he is probably never gonna find the magical key. Thankfully, Slamu does have a big magic advantage on traiLZ at this point, so
yeah,
especially because he's pretty likely to get that 7th magic container here in the East. Then he probably isn't going to struggle with casting Fairy too much.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The extra magic containers are going to help him not worry about starving for magic when casting fairy and having to take a bunch of deaths. Whereas traiLZ can have a little less magic right now with that magic key in his pocket. He just has to worry about a thunder cast later on.
Well, good news for Slamu. He cannot dig that dungeon at all.
Well, oh yeah, right. Because it's Great Palace. We got traiLZ in 5 though. He already found a dead end, so we're off to the left here.
Okay. Well, traiLZ does have the glove, so
Yes.
we'll see. It might be difficult to conclusively know whether this palace is glove blocked or not, but I, for one, would like to know how many of our palaces actually ended up being glove blocked.
Absolutely. So where's this raft going to take us to? Is it going to take us? Oh, I guess, did we see it on Maze Island?
I didn't see it on Maze Island, but it's got to be Maze Island, right? I think they checked everything else. Night Shifter thankfully pointing out in chat that Raft Tile was in Death Mountain and we just missed it.
Okay.
That's going to be extremely useless. Also, kind of, we've got pretty decent knowledge of the item locations at this point. We're pretty short on locations for the raft to be anyway.
Yeah, I might be in agreement with Bick Pickett in chat talking about how you could probably just go back. He's got the trophy, talking Slamu here, has the trophy. Go back and get Reflect and just, he's also got the glove now, and start clearing out those palaces because he needs Thunder, but Thunder, well, he actually doesn't know that it's free yet. So he doesn't have the child. He wants to probably see Darunia. Here it is, and he'll get confirmation it's not Thunder, so he doesn't really have to worry about anything. It's going to be free here. He might just grab Thunder, and then we might see him jump back to the west. Yeah,
picking up stab here too. You got to pick it up at some point, so might as well pick it up now.
I don't think it's a bad play though that traiLZ is also here in 5. It's because you got to come back over here if you just leave it behind, and it looked like Death Valley was also one-sided volcano, only accessible from the side that he's on now, the east side of the east. And so you may want to just try to finish 5 and then go into the Death Valley volcano. Take a gamble that it isn't 4, but we know it's 4, isn't it, at this point? Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely 4.
So you do have to come back. So yeah, I guess Slamu does have that extra information about how 4 is not on Maze Island. And so it's over here. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess he could make up some time.
Yeah, because I think traiLZ is definitely going to check it and be disappointed.
Oh, we're going to get a basement check here. Perfect.
Yeah, 6 containers, plenty enough.
Probably just the last container.
Oh no, there's the raft. Okay, we were saying we're running out of locations for the raft to be, so that's another slightly nice thing for Slamu to pick up. Probably say 20 or 30 seconds if he decides he wants to come back. Well, I guess he's going to need to come back to this eastern side of the east once he gets Reflect Spell, so it's going to be worth the time to pick it up in terms of saving.
Yeah.
That's really all you can hope for when you pick up an item, is that it's worth the time it took you to pick it up.
Exactly.
Especially when you're in the position that Slamu is, where he doesn't yet know that he doesn't need any more items, but now he does. Well, I guess no, he had already done a Darunia check. Yeah, he knew that he didn't need any more items, so he's just checking these for safeties at this point.
traiLZ digging around in what looks like a kind of linear P5. There was one branch. There's probably been some other branches. Oh, well, speak of the devil, here's Guma.
Yeah, I think there was just the one branch that's going to lead to the item, but don't think we're going to be seeing it.
Probably not. I think traiLZ realizes he's pretty much in go mode now. He just needs to find access to the bridge. Although, access to Maze Island. Although he may still be wondering if he needs the raft at this point. Unless he saw it. Maybe he saw it.
Not only is Fire Life
in Death Mountain.
Yeah. He did not see it. traiLZ checked very little of Death Mountain. He didn't go down the river at all. But we did see, as we get our first gem of the seed placed, that not only we knew fire was life, but it's 4 bars.
Wow, that's very nice.
So yeah, they're just going to be able to absolutely phase tank their way through GP by the time that they get there, assuming that they're on, Magic 6 or 7 or something like that.
Yeah, so being Trails, I don't know if I would think that Slamu is out in the overworld doing exploration, or if Slamu was being aggressive and trying to jump into palaces, knowing who he was up against. And so if Trails thinks that Slamu was out and about in the overworld and getting stuff, then placing your first gem at 43 minutes in probably feels kind of bad. And he might be a little worried, a little concerned on what progress Slamu has made. He doesn't, he again, not knowing that 6 was glove blocked. So he really lucked out there on skipping 6, and especially because it wasn't the glove or anything like that. So I don't know, it's hard to say how exactly you feel here. You're trying to you're wondering how the runners are feeling in real time. And I don't know, it really could go a whole bunch of different directions in a race like this.
Yeah, it's just so hard to say when
it really is.
Right. 'Cause if I'm up against Trail, there's certain runners that I have a feeling for just from having watched and played against them so many times that you have sort of a feel for their style. If I'm up against Trails, I would be 0% surprised that he, cleared at least 2 of those palaces. So if I did all 3 of them, probably I'm still not that far behind, though. I of course think I'm behind because you always have to think you're behind against Trails.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know Slamu's style well enough to be able to make any kind of guesses for sure about what he would have done, and it's just so hard to say because if somebody just didn't check any of those palaces and said, screw it, I'm going straight to Death Mountain, I'm going to see where it connects to, finds the east, finds the glove right away, I would have saved 15, 20 minutes in this seed, and all of a sudden you're way ahead.
Yeah, and that's what I think might kind of potentially be on Trails' mind, knowing that clearing the overworld is absolutely a valid play to clear the overworld first before you start digging into palaces. And this time, once you get the bigger picture of everything, and he's got the big picture of it all now, 45 minutes in, it kind of made sense to clear the overworld first. So now you're wondering, did Slamu do that first? Because if he did, he might either be right next to me or right ahead of me by a little bit now.
Yeah, but
especially wasting time going through Parappa, checking that little pocket of nothing, going through Jump Cave, checking that pocket of nothing, seeing that Mito was just chilling there the whole time. Even early on, you can psych yourself out on those types of things and be like, well, I'm behind, and but he's really not. So yeah.
Good news for Trails. He, I don't think I was watching Slamu for a bit, but I don't think he actually went all the way through Valley of Death.
He did. He checked.
He did get the 4
check.
Okay, must have been a quick one because I blinked and I missed it. So he is back in 2, and he's going to clear all of these palaces. And for at least 2 and 3, he does know exactly where he needs to go since he's already checked everything except for the glove block.
Yeah, the only thing that just Trails needs to find is the access to Maze Island. And I do wonder if he thinks it's the raft, or if he's just going to walk down Death Mountain after this if he can't find the raft, because we know the raft's not over here. It's not in 3, it's not in 6. He'll see the item in 6 probably pretty early on, as Slamu did. And 2, we didn't see the item in 2 yet, have we?
Yeah, I think we saw the item everywhere. I think I forget, was the item in 2 just garbage? Maybe we didn't see the item in 2. Maybe I'm forgetting. This was 35 minutes ago, and I've already forgotten.
Yeah, this was a while ago. Okay, everything in 2 is blocked.
Okay. Well, we might get a sighting of it, although probably not.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I guess. Yeah.
I think
from Trails' perspective, he doesn't know yet that he doesn't need the raft, so it probably will check it.
He does know that he's missing the Maze Island Bridge, though, and so you have to consider that if you didn't see it on the east anywhere, you didn't see it on the west, unless it's really just tucked in a pocket, tucked in a corner somewhere on that mountainous west. And it might be because I don't know if he thinks about that little area above start. We didn't get that check. So that could have been in the access point to a Maze Island Bridge or something like that. But if he doesn't think about that, then he's thinking it's somewhere in Death Mountain, because I did so little exploration in Death Mountain. There's a whole river there. He knows that the bridge is up here at the top and the bottom of the maps like that. So he's probably just going to walk straight south if he can't find the raft in any of these. And here's our item room. He's not even going to check it.
Not even going to check it. Okay. I was right about to say, you know, I think it's decently likely that traiLZ would check it if he found it, but not actively go and look for it after he cleared the boss. But proving me wrong, traiLZ is out of here.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where Slammer's at in 5 here. He's checking this dead end. It's a fairy if he wants it.
Not a bad pickup. He is out of key. He's gonna have to rely on that fairy spell. He hasn't gotten Magic 5 yet, and that's starting to become an inconvenience. I think even at 6 bars, it's 41 here, so he's only got 2 casts. I don't think it reduced in cost again until Magic 5.
Yeah. You know what? Now that I think about it, I guess if you consider that you haven't seen the Maze Island Bridge, that even if the raft tile leads to Maze Island, you have to consider that the bridge definitely leads to Maze Island as well. Then, so it'd probably be easier to just find the bridge than to even find the raft and screw around with that. So that might be the way that traiLZ is thinking about this here.
I don't know. I still might have gone and pick up that item anyway. It's only.
It could have been a magic container. Yeah, he doesn't know where they're at.
Didn't even take an extra screen transition. Would have only been about 15 seconds. But traiLZ is one of the best runners. This is part of why it's a no nonsense approach. You know, I don't need it. I'm not gonna get it.
All right, Slammer with the key pickup here. I don't know how much further it is to Guma. He's got an elevator here. He's going to go down, and I guess to the right. Guma was not right off an elevator. He was off of a standard left-to-right transition, so probably got a few more rooms to go.
Yeah, this 5 was very linear, if I remember right, so sort of just Slamu making his way through it. And I think he's a couple screens away now. I think I remember this section. Oh yeah, this extremely rude bridge that Slamu and traiLZ both handling in the same method, just cast fairy.
traiLZ taking that jump all the way to the edge of the platform there. Otherwise, you get caught by the crumble bridge that's above you, and you would land in the lava as a result. I actually think Guma's in the next room here for Slammer.
Yeah. I love how the tin suits spawn below the level of the floor here.
Oh, yeah, right? More often than not, they just fall into the lava.
Alright, and here's a Guma.
He's got 2 lives in reserve, and even if he doesn't make it here, he did just break out the fire life cast, it looks like.
I think, he must have. Oh, okay. So I was wrong earlier. I thought Firelife recovered 4 bars. traiLZ must have just smashed it twice in a row. Because it looks like only 2 bars recovered for Slamu.
This P3 is a little long as well. After that glove block, he still had several rooms to go at this point. These palaces glove blocked and linear, it seems.
Yeah, you just go left forever and ever and ever, and...
Yeah, this is an elevator for our traiLZ, though. This is bound to be Rebanak at the bottom of this.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, okay.
And we got a Guma kill for Slamu here.
Yeah, unfortunately, nice. Slamu going to be about 2 full palaces behind, although it's a bit disingenuous because traiLZ knew the full layout of both of these palaces.
Yeah, Slamu may remember it as well. It was a little bit ago, so we'll see if he remembers where to go. Just easy to remember. In 2, it was like routing right was all dead ends, so it's one of the lefts you have to go down.
Yeah. Well, he smartly taken his up A. He knows that he doesn't need to check value death because it's 4, and he's going to be in 2 right away here.
Yeah, 3 gems down at almost the hour mark. Probably feeling a little slow on traiLZ side, but I don't know. When you see all those glove blocks early on, you have to consider that that was ultimately what the time was going to be if you're digging palaces unsuccessfully for 15 minutes across those 3 that were checked.
Right, traiLZ taking his up and A. He's going to head down here, and I believe gonna pick up his reflect spell.
Okay, so we got Slamu digging into the Minecraft room here, looking for keys. So that's interesting. This is going to be the dead end variant, if I'm not mistaken, here with the 4 holes. Okay.
Right. Quick detour here for traiLZ to do P6. It's apparently on the way. Not in a big hurry to pick up reflect, but he will go and grab it before leaving the west.
He will not. He has not been to the maze yet.
Oh, right. Forgive me. This is going to be some slightly annoying routing for traiLZ then.
Yeah, another thing that's probably just kind of sitting in the back of his mind, like how fast can I find? At least he knows whatever's on Maze Island. He knows it's 1. He knows that it's not. He knows it's not 4. He knows he won't have to double dip Maze Island, but he will at least have to come back to the west real quick and hit up Rudo, grab that reflect spell, and then be back off to the east. But it is a little bit of extra legwork here, and so that's just another thing as you might psych yourself out about in a race. Perhaps I'm just projecting, but these are things. It's definitely things no. I'm sweating half the time.
Absolutely not project. Okay, traiLZ confirming that there are yet more glove blocks. Okay, Thunder castable at Magic 6, but. Taking all of traiLZ's magic.
Oh, don't stand there too long. He knows that. Oh! Yeah, he had to make that jump, but got hit by the one that was up above him. This is like it begs to question. Okay, he's gonna break out fire strats here, but also maybe even ready up spell to just drop those guys. Oh no. This is one of those rooms, though. This is one of those rooms where I kind of like these runners can handle this. He'll get through this. But it's like these are the rooms that like this particular room is a vanilla room, but this configuration of enemies is not vanilla.
And it is extremely rude. traiLZ taking the full game over in that room, and that's gonna cost him. It's giving Slava a little bit of time to catch up.
What is this Palace 2 that Slam was in? Yeah,
Slamu in Palace 2. It was the closest palace to start. He's already made it past the glove block, so not going to be too much longer before he takes down Helmet Head.
Yeah, I mean, Slamu's not too far behind, especially with that game over on traiLZ's side.
The question is going to be, how long does traiLZ spend in the 6 versus Slamu, who knows the layout already?
Yeah, and there's not much time to make up in 3, as we saw it was super linear as well. So I don't know. Does it come down to the unknown palaces? Who's done anything in 1? Who's done anything in 4? 1 is 1. It's short, and the glove block seemed pretty early on for Slamu. So I would imagine that that's not that big of a deal. 4 could potentially troll our runners a little bit, but at the end of the day, Karok is going to run out of palace rooms to troll our runners with, so someone's going to finish the palace, and it won't be too bad. I'm mainly concerned. Oh wow!
No, you gotta. Okay, I forgot that they had the glove. I was concerned about Slava getting caught in that room. It's gonna be if you land down there. And you don't have the glove or enough magic to cast fairy, you need to kill yourself, and it would be very slow on those enemies. But
yeah, we need a lava pit down there.
Yeah, or like just a candle flame, right?
Yeah,
I think it'd be enough. Just because if you can't get out of there with fairy or glove, and you have killed off all the enemies before you realize it, it is a soft lock. You have to force to take an up A out, and that would be brutal. But so we're going to place his second gem, move on to Palace 3.
Trails seeing the item room in 6 and saying, no, I don't want that.
Nope. Trails doesn't want anything. Trails wants to finish this seed.
Trails just wants to find Dark Link.
Yep. He's already got everything that could possibly be required, including the magical key and upstab.
It's interesting though, you know, I get it, like I do understand like the play of just going. I mean, I don't know. I might do the same thing as well. You know, coming back to what we were just talking about, how you might feel way behind if your opponent was just doing the overworld clear. And so he might, I don't want to say panic mode, but like it's definitely where you cannot let off the gas type of mode at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
And I guess that game over was huge in terms of affecting him. That might be the route. This is the same room. It's not, it's a copy. It's a second version of it, but I don't know if he has to go through that room or if he's got another way here. This is an elevator down, so this might be Barba.
Yep. So Slamu getting to flex a little bit of his routing advantage from the way that he's routed the seed, pick up his reflect spell right away. He's not going to have to come back to this west. And Trails is unfortunately going to have to double dip his connection to Maze Island. And man, six is it looked, I couldn't remember the layout as we reached the 1 hour mark here, but 6 is Trails. It looks like Trails is going to just explore exactly as much of it as Slamu did, which is to say all of it.
Yeah, it's kicking everybody's ass, and it seems like the one trolley room that caused Trails the game over, that's the way to go, and so he's gonna have to go back through that room now.
Yeah. So Slamu rapidly catching up here.
We'll see. Yeah, that room is potentially bad, so we'll see if Slamu handles it as poorly, or I hate to say poorly, it's just as unluckily as Trails had the option of handling it there. And if Slamu can make up time in that room, I think P6 could be a huge time save for Slamu.
Yeah, because once Trails gets onto this 6, he's got to find...
Whoops.
Okay, just
he's probably getting used to the EverDrive has some controller shortcuts that he probably just fat fingered and pressed, and instead he just wanted to do something and accidentally brought that up.
Yeah. And Slamu running out of magic, and I have to take a death down to his last life, but I don't think there's too much left in here. Slamu would know, I certainly don't.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much left either. We did see Trails in the double Doom Knocker room here. I think we need to go up and left through the glove block and Trails back into this terrible room. Luckily, though, I'm going to say luckily, there's only one generator in here. It could be Raw Heads or Bago Bagos that join the Square Wave Heads here, and that's where this room gets absolutely ridiculous.
Oh man, Trails using jump strats here going to be interesting. I don't hate it. I really like fire strats in these rooms just to set up a screen.
Oh my god. He is not. This is demoralizing right here. This is terrible. Maybe jump and fire strats we need here.
I don't know, but if Trails takes another game over here, like
yeah. Oh, he's got it. Fairy through the hole. There it is.
Okay. Close enough.
Jesus. That's those Square Wave Heads, man. They changed the dynamic of certain rooms, and that is certainly one of those rooms.
Yep. I don't know whether that was intentional or not, whether he was just like, all right, I'm just going to stab it and cast Fairy, and it'll get through.
So, hoping not to get clipped by Barba at all, he's going with jump strats, Jackhammer, with no lives in reserve. So, yeah, and it didn't get the right pit spawn.
We'll see if he Jackhammers here or just he's just using jump to get some extra hits. I like this. I think it's way too risky at this point to be doing Jackhammer strats. Wow, gets him in 3 cycles, a lot of hits.
Attack 6 seems to be doing fairly well.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're going to see some gem being burned here on his side. No? Okay.
Okay. I'm sure it looked like he had a quick pause there. He's considering it. 666 usually enough for traiLZ to just go for it, but he's going to pick up this life level. Okay, so traiLZ needs to go to Death Mountain. He needs to find his way to the maze. He's gonna have to pick up his trophy, up and A back to the west to go get his Reflect spell, and then head back to Maze Island. So, can Slamu complete 6, given his perfect knowledge, in the time it takes traiLZ to do that? Probably not, but it's gonna be a lot closer because of this double div.
Yeah, I think Slamu actually has 2 options. traiLZ showed us 2 glove lock rooms, that same exact room, one with the square wave heads, one without. He entered the one without them from the right to the left, which did lead to a dead end eventually. So I think Slamu has the 2 options for those 2 glove locks. We'll see which route he chooses. The tougher route is the answer, but yeah. And now getting a much better look at Death Mountain there. The raft tile was right there at the start. So traiLZ would have known from the very beginning that he didn't need the raft. That was visible right from where you walked in.
Okay. And tough break here for traiLZ. Or for Slamu, rather. That his level up was just getting Magic 6. So he's at 4-6-6. Not going to be able to get attack 5 even. Well, traiLZ sitting here on 6-6-7 has a lot more level advantage.
Yeah, I almost wonder, when it comes to the better runners, they tend to be better at combat. And even we saw the grinding early on from Slamu's side, and you can see now that I always tell people to grind if you feel you need to grind, get a little bit of extra experience to make it a little easier for you, at least in the early game. But we're seeing that the time spent grinding here overall has not really been a huge benefit to Slamu in the grand scheme of just leveling overall. But again, early game, it could have made the difference. But right now, as we look at levels, even though traiLZ has 2, or just 1 other gem placed, still has higher levels.
Where
And
is
the
traiLZ
most
going?
expensive level. P1?
Oh, forgive me. I somehow in my head I was like, this was P4. But yeah, P1 is in the maze.
Yeah, immediate glove block right here that Slamu showed us earlier.
Yeah.
I was concerned. You were very concerned. Where I was like, wait, where is traiLZ? He's in P1. Is there something wrong with P1?
Yeah. Well, you just see the statue, and somehow in my head I had it mixed up where P4. See, I'm very bad at remembering things. This is why when I do my scenes, I track pretty extensively where everything is.
Oh, see? Okay, so we did have I think we just saw a glove block on Slamu's side he run through, and it ended up being a dead end. So maybe Slamu's a little rusty on this gigantic 6 that he spent half his life full clearing early on, and maybe he doesn't remember exactly where to go at this point. Yeah, he's got time that he can make up here still, because we saw traiLZ get beat up real bad in that one room. And if Slamu can find that room real fast and not get beat up in that same way, and I believe this is the route, that's going to be that time save that he needs.
Picks up a key 2, going to be nice for him. The magical key for traiLZ really has paid off quite a bit.
Yeah.
Slamu has had to take deaths on a couple occasions to refill. Not going to block him, but all these little minor time losses, going to pick up keys and having to take deaths do add up.
Yeah, I don't know how much Fairy is at Magic 6. It may have not come down. There's no guarantee that it's going to come down from 41. Both of our runners at Magic 6, so if we can spy their spell book when they flip it open.
Okay. Slamu, clearly not fully remembering the layout of the 6. I don't blame him. It's been 45 minutes since he was here.
Yeah, and it was his 3rd Palace, where it's like Palace 2, glove blocked. Palace 3, dig around, glove blocked. Palace 6, frickin' dig a ton of it, glove blocked. It's like, oh my god. Oh, this is the right way with the Doom Knocker at the top of this Death Mountain elevator room.
Yep. Trail's making quick work of Palace 1 because it's just Palace 1, not much to it.
Yeah, he saw the item room again, said no, saw the dead end after that, and then Horsehead was down here at the bottom somewhere. That shortcut menu sure is catching Slammer. I don't know if that's reprogrammable or able to be shut off or something.
I think it is. I think there's a couple. I think there's a jumper for it.
Oh, jumper. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
It's been about a decade since I've seen it ever drive in person. So. Okay,
here we go. This is, Slammer already getting smacked here, but this is his room.
Okay, Slammer does catch himself with the fairy spell, though, going to be able to not take a death and give it a retry.
Okay, Trav White in chat confirming you can turn off that shortcut menu. I knew you could turn off like save state shortcuts and things like that, but I wasn't sure if the whole thing could be turned off, but cool. Yeah, well, plus in Slammer's defense, this is his very first day racing, and he's probably only been playing with the thing for like 2 days at this point because he just got it. He just moved to console, and so it's probably just that he's completely forgotten about it or wasn't even aware that you could turn the whole menu off at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something he'll be researching after this. He did say in the race room coming in that this was his first race. Oh,
wow.
I think he may have thought that he needed magic to get out of here, but he did pick up a key right before this, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if that death was intentional or not, is I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do want to point out that Slammer did make it through that room. He got bopped, ferried out, and then I think he made it in the next attempt. So he made it through that room a whole lot faster, and that room's a little bit into this palace. So as traiLZ has taken that death, that game over, in that room the first time, then had to make it all the way back, got trolled another 2 or 3 times in that room, and taking more deaths and made it out with no lives in reserve. But yeah.
Slammu brave enough to do a little bit of jackhammering, looking to do some more, but Barba not quite cooperating. Ooh, doesn't get the setup there.
The responsiveness of the console is just too good. It's totally messing up his timing.
He's throwing him up. Yeah, maybe.
He used to have 38 frame input latency from the emulator.
I don't think it's that bad.
No, it's not that bad, but
yeah.
Oh, traiLZ. He's kind of forgotten the way back to the east. He knows it's right over here, so it's not going to take him too long. He sees it. It's right there. It's right there. It's right there.
It's got to be that cave. You see a cave facing right on the right side of the map. You're like, that's not right.
Yeah, is he headed? He needs to head. I don't think you can access the volcano from this side. I think he's got to go pass through to the other side. Oh, I guess he's got his option of pass-throughs here. I think the other one was the 2-screen pass-through. This is the 1-screen pass-through, I believe. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, Slammu gonna make his way back to Maze Island, do his Palace 1.
Yeah, that was not enough of a time save in 6, and traiLZ did not lose enough time in 6. He had a good lead. That was padded out there, and because he's going to be in 4, and he's just going to swing right back to the other side of the east and get into GP. Slammu got to go all the way, like you said, got to go all the way to Maze Island, get his P1 done, and then follow in the footsteps of traiLZ at this point. So there's a solid 5-6 minutes here, I'd say, something like that, maybe more. But if GP sucks in terms of, if it rolls long is in short long, and it's trolly, then I don't know. It still could be anyone's game if Slammu just guesses godlike when he walks in there.
Yeah, I've had some real trolly GPs in my practice recently, and when GP decides it wants to take 25 minutes, it can take 25 minutes.
The best types of GPs.
Just absolutely awful. When there's like 8 forks and some of them are drops and they all lead to dead ends except for the one specific magic combination of lefts that leads to Dark Link. Yeah. This
is how the final round of the 4-0 moving to 5-0 race should be determined by a 25-minute Great Palace.
Yeah. For this tournament, I think we have just the same flags for brackets that we're having for the Swiss, I think.
Yes.
So we won't be seeing any long GPs, but man, for people who haven't seen a long GP before, it is an experience. As traiLZ finishes a big giant loop. It gets a nice view of the start screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna claim that. I'm gonna claim that for myself. The loop back to start nonsense. I do that way too often, it seems.
Yeah, and then you're like, well, do I up A, right? Like, am I low enough that I want to spend the 10 seconds it's going to take to refill? traiLZ wisely, still at full life or full lives and 668, high enough on resources that he doesn't want to spend the 10 seconds. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably did. I didn't watch his route there that looped him back to start. I don't know how many choices he had that were also rights. If he didn't have any, then Slammy was going to take the exact same path, I would imagine. Or maybe it's time for Slammy to gamble come P4. I don't know where you feel you're at. 75 minutes into the seed, still 2 gems to place. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, if you're traiLZ and you got stuck in 2 glove block palaces, you got to figure, maybe I'm behind. If you're Slamu and you did all 3 palaces in the West, they were all glove block, and you've been stuck in this situation, you've got to know that you're behind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Slamu break out the gambles, but he's going to need something to catch up because traiLZ is about to place his 6th gem here.
Yeah, they're going to have to be some real huge plays from Slammer here. But we say that, but it's really not like he doesn't need to be like, there's no like physical strength or acrobatics or any other skill like that involved. It's just like he just has to guess correctly. And that's sometimes a really hard thing to do because you're just rolling the dice on where you need to go.
Sometimes you have a really long GP, a game over can make the difference.
Yeah.
With Slamu's opponent being traiLZ and traiLZ at 6, 7, 8 with all the safeties. It's somewhat less likely than you might see in a different race. So someone like me might be a lot more likely to take a game over. But we've seen traiLZ take game overs to particularly nasty rooms already in this seed, so there's a possibility.
Yeah, and the fact that he has just I don't know if Thunder's come down, but he did get 1 extra magic container, I guess, on Maze Island. So now he's got his 6, and here we go into GP.
116.20 approximately with gates up.
But I was going to say that maybe magic might come into play to troll him at some point. There might be like a longer GP, and I don't know. Maybe Thunder is not castable by the time he gets there, and he's got to up an A or something and start back over. I don't know. Anything's possible. We're about to find out, though. That's for sure.
Yep. Slamu finished up his Palace 1. He's going to be on the way to 4.
We got some choices here. First, 2 rooms in, we got a 4-way. Oh, 4-way into a 2-way. Okay.
Okay, this is exactly what you want to see if you're planning on gambling, exactly what you don't want to see if you think you're ahead. If you think, man, I've made good choices, I haven't had any bad luck, I feel like I'm ahead of the seed, what you want is linear and straightforward.
Yeah, absolutely.
But traiLZ not getting that so far, but okay, first right, no good, taking it up A.
We'll see if we see true standard routing from traiLZ here, or if we'll see some early lefts before rights are cleared. That might give you an indication on how he's feeling right now.
Yeah, he's got the 1 right and 2 lefts available to him. Knowing traiLZ, I think we're just going to see the other right. Not typically one to gamble.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I'm barely a gambler myself unless I feel I'm really behind or something like that.
Oh, also this down path is also right. So he had 2 rights and 2 lefts. If I'm keeping track correctly.
It was up and left, right, and then down and right, and we're seeing the down and right here.
Yeah. Oh, right. The left in that 4-way was where he came in initially. So
yeah. Potentially more divergence here into an elevator room. We'll reverse paperclip.
I'm always awful at remembering which version of the room it is to jump over the gap correctly.
It's the gap is always on the elevator side of the pillar.
Yeah, I know that. That doesn't stop me from falling in. It's hard enough remembering, palace layouts for extended periods of time, but try remembering, whether you came in from an elevator or from the staircase 5 seconds into a room. Actually impossible.
Well, I didn't see where Slamu started this for. I don't remember exactly where this room was in traiLZ's dig here. Oh, looking like the potential loop, but it also could be the other room we saw early on here on traiLZ's side.
I'm going to find out real quick here with this elevator check. It is that room. So, traiLZ...
Interesting.
It looks like fully exhausted his paths, all of them, fighting all of the wrong paths first. This is the only way.
These just simply loop right back into each other. Wow.
Was it? What's going on here?
It's the Twilight Zone.
Is this a different one of this room with the Kingbot?
Yes, there are 3 of these rooms because we should have Firebirds in here. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Slammy's still picking up keys as well. Wait, that's that magic. Oh wow! What the hell
is this? Is this that same room? I think I know what it is. I think these downs, they look the same. Right?
Okay, so yeah, so two of these. There's 3 of these, and 2 of them look the same. The 2 of them look the same, and one of them takes us back to the beginning.
Right, one takes us back to the beginning. One is the way forward. And I don't remember which one is which, and hopefully traiLZ does.
I think this is our down here.
Okay. Man, what a trip. Yeah, okay, this is definitely a new room. It looks the same from there, but Kingbot!
Buzz thundered.
Oh man, Kingbot is just the hero of Zelda 2.
Hero.
That being said, it is very nice when you know he's there because he conveniently despawns all the rest of the sprites in the room. Kind of a marvel of NES programming that Kingbot even works at all.
Okay, we got more branches here. Thought maybe we might see a Thunderbird here. We got a left downstairs, and we got a right up here. Slamu placing his 6th gem. Sorry, not his 4th. His 6th gem in P4. About to be into GP as well, but that's going to be another 2 minutes or so. He's got to walk out of Death Valley and walk all the way through the Pass-Through Cave, wait for this level, and oh, jeez.
Yep, 6, 6, 7 going to be very comfortable levels for him, though he did manage to, thankfully, after being stuck at 4, 6, 6, the next 2 levels were Attack 5 and Attack 6, so getting out of that hole, thankfully.
I'm glad we have Upstab, seeing this room in the pool here. If we see from the other side, we're going to definitely need Upstab.
Yep, there's possibility traiLZ will have to backtrack. And
a lot of waffle rooms in here. It's waffle rooms and the GP, what we call the GP item room that we saw 3 copies of back to back. What an absolute mind bender, man. Wow. I've seen 3 pit rooms back to back, but those aren't junctions, so you don't really just do them. You don't think about, did I just take this elevator? You had to keep checking that stuff. He looped around it. That would have totally messed me up as well. This is definitely a glove block heavy palace here. You were not getting through anything in this palace without the glove. There's so many rooms.
Yeah, I mean, it goes around with the theme of the scene.
There's a lot of rooms he's seen already, though, with no Thunderbird. I wonder. I mean, Thunderbird could be in the next room after this, but here's Slamu into GP, about 7 minutes behind.
Yeah, just about. And the Slamu's big hope right now is that I was gonna say that the correct way to go is that left that traiLZ hasn't checked, but unfortunately, traiLZ finding that dead end, and he now knows, once again, there is only one way to go, and he knows where it is.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a troll. He does know he needs to go upstairs, though. He can go just upstairs, left and down, I believe, is where he can go to get back to that branch.
Yeah.
At the four-way, that is. Up left, and then into the next room, which is a copy, and then down that elevator, and then that'll take us down and left through a curtain room, and eventually to the upside-down T-junction, which he needs to just hold left in.
Yep. And that is where traiLZ is going.
Oh.
Going right? Okay. I think... this will definitely... We know this is a loop, but...
Yeah, we need a blue bird. Oh, there it is. Okay, never mind.
Okay,
Maybe
so it is the one right instead of the one left.
We do have Slamu doing lefts, though, here, so we'll see if he leads himself to the right room, and this is this is not it. He needs to go left one more. Yeah, he needs to go left one more. Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the right track going up and taking lefts, but this is not the one.
And it's funny, had he gone one more room left, it would have been the same room, just a copy of it. And I wonder if he would have just turned around thinking, "Oh, I just saw this. This loops into itself or into its sister room. I don't know what to call that, partner room." But in fact, it's actually a trio of rooms.
So traiLZ, upon taking that left, finds another fork with 2 more lefts.
Outstanding.
Gotta be careful in this room. Yep.
little clench going on there.
Yeah, you could, depending on which enemy you get there, that room could be absolutely awful. And another junction for traiLZ.
Wow, and it's still not Thunderbird up here. Amazing.
This one at least gives him the option of going right. But he's going left.
I think it's worth a check into another elevator room. Or is this
a loop? Did he...
I didn't watch how he got here. Yeah, so that looks loopy.
It looks like a loop, but I think traiLZ is just trying to confirm.
Oh no, because now we have a paperclip room.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of rooms in this GP that look like loops that aren't.
This is amazing.
Yeah, and okay, so
did Christopher Nolan create this palace here? What is this? Yeah,
so traiLZ must think he's behind me. He's taking lefts when he's got rights available, but here's an elevator room and here's Thunderbird.
Wow. I'm sure he feels quite relieved for that. And at this point, Darklink has got to be attached to this Thunderbird room.
Yeah, and man, even if traiLZ ends up taking a game over here, how long is it going to take? This path is so convoluted that I can't imagine even Slamu gambling that he's going to be able to find it quickly.
Yeah, what was it? It was up in the four-way, left, down, and then just hold left from there until you could come down into Thunderbird's room. Wow. And you passed by like 4 junctions at that point.
Yeah, and just hold left.
Wild.
And man, how is this not Darklink?
I'm not sure Darklink's room is even in here. This is amazing. This palace lived up to its hype. Okay.
Okay, there can't be any more rooms.
Looks like we're going to see a sub 90 here. Wow.
Yeah, what a very impressive time given how many things this scene threw at him.
Well, when he walked in here at 1:16, was it 76 minutes? Was that,
I think it was 1:16:20. I think.
Okay, so in here about 12 minutes. That's That's fine. Yeah, especially since there was seemingly a lot more palace left.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but anyway, get your GGs in chat for traiLZ. Going to be our one undefeated runner here in the Swiss with a time of 1:28.15.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get him in for an interview here shortly. I don't know how Slamu looks like he's going to keep going, or I don't know. It looks like he's going to keep going for now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you've toughed it out through this whole thing. I don't blame him for being like...
I don't know though. We know what awaits him, and it's going to be nothing short of just time to make a map almost to exit out of some of these areas.
It's real rude.
It's just waffle rooms galore, and those 3 back-to-back rooms. I wonder if that's going to trip up. We'll have to just kind of try to watch to see if Slammer goes back up to those trio of rooms to see if you can figure those out. I mean, you can see it's different with the enemy set. That's really just the main giveaway. This is the main way to check those rooms is the enemy set. But anyway, traiLZ in chat. GG.
Hey man, thank you. I'm not sure if I really deserve any congratulations or anything after playing like that.
We thought you might have felt that you weren't playing so hot tonight, but I don't think you played the seed all that bad. The seed just wasn't really willing to give you much, and you just kind of had to figure it out as you went along there. You both kind of made the same choices, though.
I was going to say, everything was glove blocked. And,
yeah.
You know, every palace was very long and very non-traditional. Go left, and then 20 rooms later, you might find the boss.
Yeah, I think one of the big differences early ended up being that Slamu checked all 3 palaces on the west first, where you did 2 and 3 and then went to Death Mountain, and that ended up obviously being the right way, but basically every palace in the seed ended up being glove blocked.
Yeah, I think I've noticed that Palace 6 was even glove blocked. I was like, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, early on we saw you both do 2, you both do 3, or when you were doing 3 and you found it was glove locked, Slamu was in 6 and he saw it was glove locked, and then he went into 3 and saw it was glove locked, and you were over making your way through Death Mountain in the east at that point, and then he found Maze Island first on the Maze Island Bridge south in Death Mountain there, and that was P1, and that was glove locked as well, and so he couldn't really do anything, and he finally found the glove when he hit the east. It was right there. And we thought that might have been a concern to you, seeing that all these glove blocks, that if Slamu had just done overworld exploration, he would have had the glove and not been dealing with all of those glove blocks.
Yeah, I was crossing my mind. Also, that room in Palace 6, I remember, just before Barba, there was this flying Mauheads, the sine wave, or the square wave Mauheads, that kept knocking me into the lava, dude. I had a really tough time with the lava rooms today. Well, one time I swagged it out with a broken block.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say the same thing. We were really clenched up there, but you did manage to make it through.
Did he struggle as bad as I did in those rooms, man? I took
he
one game over.
Yeah, no, he had one drop, but ferried his way out and then got it through the second try.
Yeah, we were thinking that might be a bit of a time save for him if he wasn't going to get caught up in those rooms the same way you were. And just as Elendar said, he had to get out of there one time with ferry and then make it through. But you had a really good chunk a lead at that point. He still had, by P6, he still had 1 and 4 left to go, and you had already done 1. You had already had the glove by the time you had been on Maze Island, so you only had 4 left to go at that point. So you were already a full palace ahead, and it was a palace that was all the way down over on Maze Island. So it was a little bit more of a palace. You know, he has a walk and a palace to get to. So you had a lead. He would have had to have made up some good time in P4 as well, and he might have made up a little time in P4, but it probably wasn't nearly enough. These palaces, like you said, they were very linear, very long, and it was it was they were like just exactly as you say, non-traditional.
Yeah, it was and they put the cherry on top, this GP at the very end. How close were we to entering GP together? Was he in front of me or behind me?
He was behind you by about 7 minutes.
Yeah, so it wasn't even close then.
Yeah, we were like you say with the GP here. The way you routed it and the way you ended up in that GP item room with the blocks, right? The 3 of those back to back. How about that?
Yeah, this is a terrible. Yeah, with the only way that you can tell the difference is if they of the enemy type in there.
Yeah.
There's the one way that you go left, and you take the elevator down, and then you go left. Otherwise, they just loop into each other nonstop. I think.
Yeah, they do.
But you take one, yeah, the one with the blue chicken right here. That he's fighting. That's the one you want to go down and then left, and then you just basically hold left. After I got burned on that other one, I took a really long dead end, and then what happened? I up and A'd and I felt really like even more behind than I already was, and I went back down this way, and then I found another elevator that was just pointing in, maybe a left, and then I saw another one going to the right, and I just said, I'm just gonna follow this all the way down and see where this takes me. And sure enough, if you just could take that elevator down, and then hold left, it eventually dead ends you right at Thunderbird.
Yeah, what a great palace from from an audience perspective. We were blown away every time we saw another junction. We were like, another choice to make. We couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it.
Yeah, neither could I. But on the other hand, like, I don't know if you guys probably didn't have my audio on, but I was kind of like, man, well, at least as soon as I find Thunderbird Darklink will be right there, Like, there's physically no way that there could be any more palace, and,
But there was a bridge room. There was one bridge room, and we were wondering, we were like, is this really going to go on? It's got to be right here.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. This is not the one that he wants. He wants the one more over, I think. I think Slamu realizes what's going on here.
Yeah. There's one down and left that's a waffle room that has a giant bubble in the wall, and then there's this down and left here that's a curtain room, and the curtain room is the answer.
Yeah, this is the one right here.
Because you came up and right. You came up from the waffle room, and then that's when you got looped into those 3. And you kind of went around there one time to just kind of confirm, I assume kind of confirm that you were in this twilight zone of 3 rooms. And it was just like, okay, where am I at and where do I need to go? Kind of like get your bearing in a way.
Yeah, I'm just really happy that I was able to find that loop, that I found that they all looped together, because it was so close to start that if I up and A'd, like, yeah, it sucked, but at least I knew, like, I could get right back on track. And if he follows any of this stuff around, he's gonna have a bad day. Like, you just have to hold left there, man.
Yeah, I wonder if some of these other directions, not this one in particular, this one I think leads to a dead end, but we saw those other junctions. I wonder if they loop into each other or if they dead end at that point. Hard to know. But the palace was definitely a gigantic troll.
Yeah, this seed was particularly really bad.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth a watch back for sure, just so you can see how it all played out. In the early game, it could have gone any direction. Whoever really found the glove first really had access to palaces at that point. But you did have it first. You are. I don't think there's any debate on like who's ultimately the better player. Rando gonna rando in some places that can neutralize any sort of experience and whatnot. But this time around, it really, you started out pretty even, and then you were able to continue to gain ground. And you had enough ground on Slamu that, again, that terrible luck that you had in P6 in that one room was not nearly enough to set you back that far. And I don't think there was, I think you had that other slight time gain because of hitting up Maze Island and being able to do the palace and only having to hit Maze Island one time. So that was probably a bit of a time save, whereas Slammu had to do that twice. But yeah, just little things here and there. And then, obviously, combat, I think, plays a huge role in a lot of this as well. So if you can execute combat better, you take less hits, you survive for longer, you get more experience as you get more kills. And so at the end of the day, you even had better levels. He did a little bit of grinding early on off the 150 experience Iron Knuckle statues on 3 and 6. And so he probably had a slight level advantage very early on, but at the end of the day, he's at 667 and you finished at like 678 or something. So at the end of it all, you still were able to find more experience overall.
That's crazy. The thing that really spooked me the most was having to do VOD twice. When I saw P4 at the end of VOD, I was like, oh man, this sucks. I was like, at least if, because I was really looking for Maze Island, and when I saw both raft tiles, I knew that wasn't going to be the answer. So I figured, whatchamacallit, I think this actually looped Slammu.
Yeah.
So I think he's good. If he just holds left. But he's on his last life now, and he needs a 1-up drop or something.
He needs to get a red jar here if he wants to be able to cast Thunder on Thunderbird coming up. But yeah, we missed. Death Mountain checks were pretty quick. You guys were right in that cave, and we didn't, at least I didn't, see that the raft tile was right there at the top. We only saw the raft tile on the east, and we were thinking that you hadn't seen the other side of the raft, so you might have been thinking that you needed the raft. But at some point, at least I realized that the other raft tile was right there in Death Mountain, so you would have known that we didn't need the raft, and it was definitely the bridge. And having seen everything else, you figured that the bridge has to be in Maze Island because you checked every other border. I mean, it has to be in Death Mountain because you checked every other border, and so that was, it didn't seem too much of a troll, other than, like you said, having to dig Valley of Death twice to get that information. Where I guess Slammu didn't have to do that, but I mean, fairy feeding through those encounters wasn't too bad or anything.
Yeah, it was actually a really short Valley of Death. There was no no cave to go through.
All right, well, Slammu has forfeited here on Thunderbird. I think he just wanted to find his way here. He doesn't have any magic to cast Thunder, so I don't think he wants to do all of that again, but he's going to be in the, he's actually down in post-race voice, waiting to be dragged in here. We're going to get an interview from him. Big Slammu, GG.
Thank you. Geez, that's so good. Hang on. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, that felt miserable, as expected.
Yeah, that scene really did me in too, man. It gave me a difficult time as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just did everything in the wrong order. I mean, I didn't bother. I wanted to go east and should have grabbed the glove earlier, but I didn't bother until far too late, and I tried to do all 3 palaces in the west and P1 on Maze Island before going east, so I probably sputtered 30 minutes there.
Ouch. Yeah, I attempted P2 and P3. I was able to get, I think it was the hammer out of P3. And then after I got glove blocked out of those 2, I just went into Death Mountain. Because I thought for some reason that the raft was required. So when I got the hammer and I had the boots, I was like, alright, well, let's go do Death Mountain because that's where the raft is going to be. So I went in there and saw the direct path to the east and went with that. I didn't find Maze Island until a very late game.
So you obviously couldn't do Valley of Death or whatever, but the rest of it was fine. Yeah, that path to the east, once I actually went into Death Mountain, that path to the east was almost immediate. It was just literally, I I'm probably, like I said, probably 20 to 30 minutes faster if I didn't do all of the digging I did. And then the hard part is I came back, 35 minutes later to clean those things up, and I forgot the path in every single palace.
Oh man, that's the worst.
Yeah, I also I think I almost reset my console like 4 times. First time, literal first seed ever on an EverDrive, and I hit some sort of key combination that took me to some menu, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I hope I didn't just lose the race.
Yeah, we saw that a few times, and we were thinking that again, yeah, first time on the console and the EverDrive, like he probably doesn't know the shortcuts. And just as a heads up, there was Trav White was talking in chat as we were talking about that. He said, or Elendar said that there was potentially a way to shut that off, and then Trav White confirmed that in chat that there is like a jumper or something somewhere to shut those off, I guess, when it comes to like race time, so you're not interrupted by those shortcuts in the future.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to, because that threw me off. It also threw me off. I plugged in my second controller to get ready to up A, forgetting that the Z2R has the up A map to select up button checked. So I was sitting there trying to mash up A the first time I wanted to, and I couldn't get it.
Yeah, we were a little concerned that you might do something weird with the menu, accidentally be like, oh no, I hope this doesn't like ruin the race or anything like that. But no, you kept successfully exiting out of the menu when it popped up.
Yeah, I think it always happened when I tried to pause and then menu spells downward quickly and then it like immediately cast, because I think it was like start down select or something. I don't even know. Well, I'll do some research so it doesn't happen in brackets, that's for sure.
Yeah, you and I both made it to brackets. This race was just sort of for bragging rights, really.
Yeah, and you took them, that's for sure. It's funny, I did okay in GP. I forfeited when I got to Thunderbird there because I was just out of magic. So I'm assuming Dark Link's right behind.
A couple rooms. I think like maybe 2 rooms behind.
Okay, but no decisions left at that point.
No, not after Thunderbird. That GP gave me the business, man.
Yeah, if I had to do that again, I don't even know if I know the path right now. Like it was like three of those block rooms with an elevator in the middle in a row, right? That looped.
Yeah,
it was weird.
There was 3 duplicate rooms. They just each had different enemies in them. And,
yeah,
you were able to figure out which one you came up from, and I got confused by which way I came. But then I realized that which ones that I've been through before, and then there's that current room to the left. But it had me a little confused there for a minute.
Yeah, and I think I was actually on the right path immediately on my first dive, and ended up bailing out because I think I took a wrong turn and ended up looping all the way back down to the bottom right. But I was probably, I don't know, 4 screens from Thunderbird the first dive in there, and you weren't done yet. So I was sitting there. I'm like, how the heck are you not done yet? Like, this wasn't the hardest seed in the world. We both just struggled.
I think I placed my first gem around like the 40-minute mark or something crazy like that.
Yeah, I had to be after that even.
Because well, usually by the 40-minute mark, I have 3 or 4 gems already placed. So. Yeah,
my first gem was P5.
Yeah, that was my first gem too, man.
Yeah, I cleared all the way through the seed, and then I had to go back and clear all the way through the seed again.
And that P5 was long as hell.
A few of those palaces were long. Like P3 was very linear, and
P3 was straight linear. That was weird.
Even P1 seemed it was a little long for a P1.
I was thinking the same thing too, man. I was like, man, this P1 is kind of long, dude. What the hell?
But that just seemed to be the seed today, which is pretty wild. There's just that theme across all of the and the randomizer doesn't do that, right? It's just like it just randomly generates things, and that's what you get. But this time, it really wanted to just apply that same layout to everything. The lefts, the linearity, and then GP. Even in some of the other palaces, we had duplicate rooms and copies and whatnot. And then in GP, we had the triplicate room, and that was just wild. A lot of fun.
The randomizer woke up this morning and chose violence.
Huh. Well, any final thoughts from either of you? Big Slamu, any final thoughts on this one?
No, GG's Trails. Thanks you guys for throwing it together. Looking forward to a week off, followed by some brackets. So, looking forward to that last chance qualifier. Hoping to see some good competition there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, GG's to you, man. Thanks for the race, guys. Thanks for doing everything, and I'll see you in brackets, Slamu.
All right. Well, yeah, Trails is 5-0, and Slamu's 4-1. We've got plenty of other races this week. This is just the beginning, round 5 of Swiss, and a lot of races going to be, a lot of bracket entry going to be determined here in this week, and plenty more Z2R for anyone who wants it. So I'm sure Ricky can take us out here.
Thank you very much. And yes, thank you to Big Slamu and traiLZ for the race. Thank you so much. It was fun to watch. Thank you to Elendar and Mirai for the commentary. Speaking of Z2R matches, tomorrow, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, we have Devious RNG versus Pickles and Beer. And at 9 p.m. EST, we have PKT Patrick versus Level Engine. So those are the 2 matches on the schedule for tomorrow. We also have at 5:30 p.m. a Wind Waker Randomizer Season 5 tournament match between Sir Kilp and Fig. And going backwards a minute, at 4:10 p.m. we have a Skyward Sword Randomizer match between Raid Spinel and JazzNix08. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I hope everyone had a great time, and have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye!